We hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, let's try it now. Let's fix that problem. So, since you missed it, hello again, everybody. Welcome to Kinston Live. Anyway, the Zoom homies tonight are Bill, Sam. Well, it's got a. Well, let me see. What is that? Is that the? Is that a weather report? Is that a snowflake? Is that the Rocher test? I give up.
What by
We
the
have
way,
Rich.
Fractal.
I'm drunk.
Oh, okay. We have Rich. We have Ghetto. We have Greg, who was here. And we have Darren Gilholm. And of course, I'm here. I'm your host, Ken Style Live. Let's go look at chat real quick. Adventures of a Quizonian. I believe that's how that's pronounced. Now, I happen to know she's no longer watching, so I can butcher that name all night long and it'll be all right. She gives me 6 purple waving hands and she gave me a like. Cool. It means I should have a like somewhere. I've got 7 likes somewhere, so good. Pauline says TAMSAK. I got to go research that because I have no idea what that means. I'm sure it's got something to do with YouTube world. Rick Lake says hello. Hello, Rick. Robert says 3rd place. I believe this is rigged. I was taking a nap. Well, Adventures of Quizonian was first. Pauline was second. And Rick was third. Therefore, that makes Robert fourth. And that makes Greg sixth or fifth. Yeah, Greg counted it right. Good job, Greg. Sam says hello, all. BH Stringer says Keen. Susanna Morgan, proud single mother. Hello, Susanna. And the Nightbot is up and running. Interesting day today. Didn't watch any college football. Kept up with a couple of the scores. A couple of minor upsets, I thought in my mind. I know one major upset is, I believe, Georgia Tech either got beat or beat someone, and I don't remember which. I think they were on the. If Chris Garrett was here, Chris would be able to tell me. And I don't know how his Georgia Bulldogs did, but I don't know why he's worried. They're 6th ranked in the nation. It's not like they're an unranked team. They should be okay. And I got my wish. Illinois was winning big last I checked. So that's good. Last thing I wanted was for them to lose and come in here and be all mad that they lost to a cupcake team. So Illinois is up 31-0 with 6 minutes and 46 seconds to go in the 4th quarter. Ohio State's 36-9. Let me go look at the scores here.
Don't anybody talk to me. I'm getting ready to eat.
Wouldn't think of it. Vanderbilt's
Chicken
upsetting.
leg.
Hang on, let me spotlight you.
Hey,
All right, go ahead.
what's up? Big chicken leg, broccoli, and a salad.
Man, that looks like a turkey leg, not a chicken leg. Looks good, even the broccoli. So Vanderbilt's upsetting South Carolina. They're the 11th ranked team in the nation. There was one upset today, and that would be Georgia Tech beat Clemson. And Georgia actually did beat Tennessee in overtime, 44-41. So Tennessee's either better than I thought or Georgia's worse than I thought, one or the other. Other than that, there were no upsets today, college football. Played around with Da Vinci a little bit, played around a little bit with Da Vinci with the homies. Bill and I looked at some, settings on Da Vinci and concluded everything's basically the way that it should be. Why it doesn't work, I don't know. And then Sam was here for a little while when I was messing around trying to bring things in to the front foreground, and that wasn't going well either. So I don't know. Let's see. Kyle Castro, the drummer boy. Hello, Kyle. Sending support to me. Well, I appreciate that. You are the 9th like. All right. I can verify that. Long Dog. Let me see here. Long dog, long dog. Let me go back. I had to do a lot of button pushing to get here thanks to YouTube. You did not come up on my opening YouTube page, and I went to YouTube Live, and you were there. I YouTube's got a lot of issues right now. I was talking to another creator today, um, privately about some of the things that is going on and what we speculate is going on, and um, we both kind of concluded that a lot of the watch hours I'm missing are due to whatever these issues YouTube is having. And I agree with Bill. I think YouTube's watch hours like this. Well, I got a dart. Where's that board at? Oh yeah, here's the watch hour board. Clink hits the wall. Well, they get no watch hours. I mean, obviously we know it's not exactly like that, but it does sure seem like it. Um, Now Kyle got a welcome, Kyle. Thanks for being here from Nightbot. I have no idea as to why. Maybe because he put hello everyone. I think hello is the trigger word for that particular command. I think. I've only got like 6 commands. You would think I could remember those. Oh, yep. Yep. Kyle is literally the little drummer boy. Pretty good too. I will give him a little bit of credit for that. Way better than I am. Of course, this kind of hit me hard today. Do you realize that 50 years ago this year, I started driving a car with my driver's license? That kind of hit hard. I remember at 16, I was so excited. I'm going to have my driver's license. And now I'm 66 and I'm going, oh my gosh. Um, Time flies, I guess, even though you're not having fun. I think the original saying is time flies when you're having fun. Well, time flew by for me. Why am I all out of whack? That's kind of weird. Hmm. I guess it's the pictures behind it that's affecting it because it doesn't do it on each and every picture. They didn't have cars back then, sir. I happen to own a 1968 Camaro. It was my first car, and I bought it when I was 15, and I stuck it in my mom and dad's garage with their permission, of course, and I rebuilt it literally from one end to the other. I was really proud of that car, and I wished I had never sold it. It'd be worth a little bit of money today. I know the last time I looked into buying one, which was in 1999-ish or so, I found one, 40 grand. And it was not in 40 grand condition. It was more like in 15 grand condition. But the guy said, nope, it's a relic, a classic, an ancient. Nope, wouldn't budge. I'm not sure I would have given him 15 grand, but I knew I was not going to give him 40 grand. There was too much. It's like my friend across the street had a 72 for sale. Even at $2,000, it still needed way more money than I had to put back into that car. So I'm glad I didn't buy that. Jim's here. Hello, Jim. Yep, that is the deal. But there's good news to that. I'll explain later. Nightbox talking to Kyle again, and then the Princess Cam popped up. And you're not making me feel at all that good putting things that way about the driver's license. Is what it is. Um, Here in Indiana, it used to be you had to wait Indiana for you, but you had to wait 1 month and 1 day past your 16th birthday before you could get your driver's license. I don't know why. It was never explained to me why. 1 month and 1 day. But you can bet money, 1 month and 1 day, I was getting my driver's license. Oh yeah, it took 10 times to take the test to pass, and I took driver's ed. I mean, I was ready for it. Let's see here. Jazzy J's channel shows up, so that's two. I think I have 4 channels right now that I've got Nightbot pointing it to. I still would like to find a way to highlight that somehow, but I don't. There's 3. There's Sam. So we've gotten Bill's Princess Cam, Jazzy J, and One Fish. And I know there's one more. I think. I hope. I put it in there. Whether it works or not, I don't know. We will see. We will see. Kind of an interesting day weather-wise today. I woke up to rain and it stayed overcast, partly cloudy, really humid in the afternoon. And then I took a look at the app and it said there was a chance. There's a chance, okay? This much of a chance of rain. Well, they missed that by about that much because it rained for a solid hour when they said there was this much of a chance, which would have been okay, except I had set stuff out on my in front of my garage to dry. They're not dry. You can bet good money on that. Anybody have anything they would like to bring up and talk about? I did watch a little bit of Doug's today, then I got kind of busy doing other things. It did not. It was on, but much like my channel, it's probably on a lot of channels, but nobody's paying attention. I'm guilty of doing the same thing. All right, so
I watered my grass seed.
yeah, that gets done naturally for me around here. If and whenever I ever decide to do that, which is probably going to be never. All right, I got a commercial, an ad, whatever you want to call it. I haven't fully migrated over to Firefox yet. I'm working on it. I find some things I don't like, so I'm currently monitoring the stream on Google, watching the stream on OBS, and I'm watching the studio on Firefox. No ad, an ad. So, and I tend to let them play. Oh, that's fine, Jim. I realize that. Long Dog, the overall subject matter with Doug today made me think about when something that happened like 2 years ago with Windows Update that screwed up the recovery partition. Um, Above my head, I, real basic, install the app, run the app. Every now and then, update the app. Every now and then, update the graphics card. Oops, except this time around, it seemed like that's what screwed up the DaVinci machine. Um, After a couple changes, it seemed to get a little better, but it's not like it was a week ago. Repair was to resize the partitioning. You had to add a 250 megabyte in order to fix the problem. Yeah, I think I heard Doug mention something about you had to add in order to do something as well, but I think he was trying to do everything from Macrium. And again, I do have it downloaded. Okay, there were a couple of facial expressions that Doug had today that, as good as we're sitting here right now on this Zoom and live stream, you can bet it's going to be a trailer. Okay. And I'm going to be involved in the trailer as well. I'm not just going to pick on Doug. Pick on Doug. That could be the name of the trailer. Hello, Jen. Jen, OFW Adventure says, like number 11. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. There's still a lot of steps that you have to be careful with when resizing the partition. Good to see Jen. I've been catching her off and on the last couple of weeks. I've been catching a lot of people off and on. I have my dedicated people that I watch, and I need to get better at that. But I mean, we all know I watch Bill and I watch William, or I watch Bill and William. I watch Bill and Sam every night after the show. Oh, Rick. Rick says hello to Jen. Good to see Rick. Rick does have a live stream scheduled for tomorrow afternoon, as long as he doesn't lose power. Gotta get that little poke in there about that. Not in his control. Completely out of his control. And apparently they thought it would be done way sooner than they were, and it did not get done in time for him to do his live stream. And I just didn't feel like doing a live stream. I know I used to fill in for Doug a lot. I don't know, maybe I'll start doing that for others. Long Dog, after the second comment I have is about Sam Lazar, and the second comment I have is about Sam Lazar. Dang, darn. Well, he actually says damn, but this is family friendly. By the way, does anyone here speak Korean? Anyone? You know, it'd be funny if my ex-wife was on there and she says, I speak Korean. I find it humor now. Anyway, we spent the entire show going over what we spent last week on. The guy's hard-headed, and I'm trying to be nice. So many of us were giving him answers to his problems. Here's the problem, Long Dog. I agree with what you're saying. Doug's channel has the potential to help a lot of people out. However, here's what has to take place in order for Doug's channel to help people out. This is my opinion. My opinion only. You got to read the chat to see what's being suggested. If you're like some people that I know, I'm not going to mention any names, could be directly underneath me in the Zoom though, on my Zoom and on the YouTube Zoom, and you never read your comments or you never read chat, then you're not going to know what's going on. Especially if you do like someone I know and you you mute. Everybody remember that's a new word. You mute the volume. I don't know, I kind of like moot though. That's kind of cool. Oh my gosh, I swear. I was talking to my sister today and we were talking about aging and where we grew up and some of our life adventures. She was married to a guy in the Air Force. She traveled the world, and then she remarried a guy in the Army, so she continued to travel the world. And I just went in the Army. I had no desire to go in any other service. And we were talking about the town we grew up in and how it was then and how it is now and how much it's changed. I said, well, it's changed because we're adults. It's still the same town. It basically has not changed in 100 years. We grew up. Our perspective of things is way different. And then we got on the condition of memory and how I'm 66 and she will be 65 here in a month or so. And she was like, well, what do you mean? I said, what do you mean? What do I mean? And she goes, we were just talking about something. I said, I know. What do you mean? I knew what she was talking about, but I wanted to give her a hard time. So, and then she had a kin moment. She goes, oh, so she's a quick one, my sister. Long dog, when Doug does is extremely difficult, juggling to us and fixing a problem is not an easy thing to do. I agree with that too. Robert says, poor Joshy Poo. Sam Lazar would not spend any time learning about Thunderbolt. I don't have any clue what Thunderbolt is. I keep hearing it tossed around and goes in that ear, comes out that ear. Does not stop in between. It's a direct line all the way through. It doesn't interest me. Da Vinci now, I'll stop that thought a little bit. I don't know if I seen the other fourth one come up or not. Long Dog put in there KB 5028997 if you want to look for a repair. Is that to repair something or is that the one that's bad? I just now saw that, so I'm just wondering. So I'm not so sure that the outro will work tonight. I was having some issues with adjusting things, so it may or may not work. If it doesn't work properly, I know how I can run it manually. Long Dog says Thunderbolt is a neat interface, but it's not really going anywhere. It's been around for many years. Very high speed data transfer. Okay. But at this time, Apple's doing a better job of promoting that interface. I'm kind of on Apple's case a little bit right now. This new iPhone 16 I have has got the world's worst phone reception I've ever seen. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. I heard somebody start to say something. Or maybe I did not. All right, let's see if this is going to work.
Silk and satin, feel the night. Ooh, yeah. Glitter falling, golden light. Shine, shine. Every step, a whispered tease. Moving slow like honeybees. Shimmy, shimmy, watch me glow. Oh, oh. Take it high and bring it low. Down, down. Velvet shine, I steal the show. Flow, flow.
That's all, folks.
And I am back. Let me look at chat real quick and see if there's anything going on. There's One Fish Again's Jazzy Jazz again. I will have to go figure out why the fourth one didn't work, and there'll be a fifth one. I already know that I'm going to put one more in there, so I don't know. I want to thank everybody for being here, both on Zoom and YouTube. As always, the Zoom homies, Bill, Sam, Rich, Ghetto, Greg, and Darren, night in, night out. I do appreciate your support. It does mean a lot to me. I also want to thank everyone on YouTube. It looked like the scroll went by, and that's the main purpose of that, so I don't have to scroll back up and read names. But I do thank each and every one of you. If I missed your name or the scroll missed your name, it's because you have to chat once the live stream starts. The scroll will pick it up. If I miss, it's because, well, it's me. With that, I'm going to read Long Dog's comments after I end. If you want to join us on the Zoom panel, email kstoutz00m00 Zoom Z00, never mind, at gmail.com. Send me an email. We'll get you the credentials, get you on the panel, and have some fun. Good night. See you tomorrow on Rick's, if those of you that will be there, and I'll see you tomorrow night if you're here for mine. Have a good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon. One of the two.